All right, last matchup here. Monday Night Football.
Fantasy
we got
points galore.
Fantasy points for everybody. The Oprah meme where she's pointing
Yep,
at everybody
you get points, you get points.
Everybody gets points
Everybody's
in this
getting points in
matchup.
this
That
game.
is Washington and Philadelphia. The Philadelphia Eagles are probably the biggest surprise of this season. They are 5-1. They are surprising everybody. They're at home. Carson Wentz. Let's just talk about him for a second,
good.
guys. He's good. Carson Wentz is good, and not just good regular quarterback. The good fantasy quarterback. Very good.
QB3 last week?
Yep.
Yeah.
With the game against Carolina where he played really impressive on the road, and you tend to think that there's not a lot of offense that's going to happen on a Thursday night game on a short week. Now, Philly gets extra time to prepare for this game because they go from a Thursday to a Monday game. That's super helpful. Carson Wentz, legitimate fantasy quarterback option.
Yeah, no, and on the flip side, when we look at the other quarterback here, Kirk Cousins has posted 15-plus points and 280-plus yards in 5 straight games. Okay, that's pretty good.
Also three over that time span as well.
Yeah, the Eagles have allowed 5 straight top 12 fantasy performances. What does that mean? This is a recipe for success for Kirk Cousins. So there's across the board here, I like pretty much everybody from a fantasy perspective. The only one we're going to talk about, and that's because Chris and I got duped into liking this guy heading into the season, especially Chris.
We were whamboozled. That's the word I'll use. Whamboozled.
Whamboozled. Thought it was bamboozled,
I don't
but
know
that's
if
okay.
I don't know if whamboozled is a word.
Bamboozled
I just made it a
is
word.
the-
Okay.
is the word. Talk about Samaje Perine.
I mean, it managed just 2.9 yards per carry on 34 carries since week 3. Just not doing it. Not working
No.
out the way we expected it.
Not enough.
And part of it has to do with how good Chris Thompson has been. I think if there is no Chris Thompson in the equation, Samaje Perine probably has a bigger workload, probably is able to be more successful. But if you're the Washington Redskins, how can you not continue to just wear out Chris Thompson and continue to ride him as far as he'll take you?
Yeah, I mean, they want to keep his touches semi-limited, kind of, a little bit more than Tariq Cohen, based on about getting around 20 per game. But Rob Kelly looks like he's going to be back this week. That's the starting running back you want. Chris Thompson is a flex play every single week the way they use him in the passing game. Everybody else in the Redskins backfield can what, Chris?
They can ride the pine?
This is your gimmick.
This is
we're
your
riding the
gimmick,
pine. I
Chris.
didn't know what
Come
we were
on.
doing. Sorry.
You got to get there. Yeah,
they're riding the pine.
Chris Thompson came out of the bye and had 20 touches. That's about where he's going to be for the rest of the year. And if Rob Kelly stays healthy, this is actually where you like them, because Rob Kelly being the number 1 overall back is what Washington wants. And Chris Thompson being in that position is overall what they're looking for. Now, from the Eagles' perspective, offensively, let's look at Alshon Jeffrey. Let's talk about Nelson Aguilar. I know that Chris is dying to talk about Nelson Aguilar, so I will allow for him to talk about Nelson Aguilar here. Go ahead,
He's
Chris.
been so good, and I think the big thing about it is he's finally starting to produce in terms of the touchdown department. That was the struggle for him, and they kind of needed somebody to emerge because they only have Alshon Jeffrey on a 1-year deal. They drafted Aguilar in the first round. They needed him to produce, and yes, Jeffrey's going to be a guy that takes a lot of the attention away, and where Aguilar is going to work best is in the middle of the field.
Yeah.
He's able to just catch passes and go from there. He's got some great speed, and he's been very successful the last couple of weeks.
I really like this matchup for Alshon Jeffrey, and that is because Josh Norman is not playing in this game. So I think that breakout game is coming for him, and I think this is probably the matchup for it. This is going to be that high-scoring game. I think there's going to be a lot of passing. There's going to be a lot of touchdowns in this game. It's going to be a fun game to watch. And this could end up being the 2 teams that we did not think would be at the top of the division. These two teams could be vying for the top number 1 overall spot and one of the best in the NFC, which is awesome to watch.
Now, can we talk about my favorite tight end?
No.
I'm a big fan of this guy.
This
He's
is
been so good.
where I wish that I had the playback button, so I could play back weeks 1 through 5, where Chris told me not to start Zach Ertz, and I told all of you to start Zach Ertz. What has happened? Zach Ertz is overall right now in ESPN PPR scoring
tight end 1. Yep, the top
number 1.
He's good.
Number 1.
He's very good.
So,
Big
Chris,
fan.
now is your time to atone for your sins.
I've done it the last couple of weeks.
So
I was
tell
wrong
everybody
about Zach
Ertz.
I was wrong about Zach Ertz. He's playing extremely well. Washington giving up 81.4 yards per game to opposing tight ends. And because of the need in that Philadelphia offense for pass catchers, Carson Wentz is going to keep going to Zach Ertz.
Yep.
And he's going to continue to produce.
Both secondaries are very banged up. All the passing in this game.
All of the passing. All
Jordan
of the points.
Reed, everybody.